Hello everyone and welcome back to another part of Red Embrace Hollywood. If you would like to see the previous parts, I have a playlist. Go check that out. If you want to play this game yourself, you can buy it on Steam and on itch.io. The links are in the description. If you want to support the devs in another way, they also have a Patreon and that will also be in the description. Last part was emotional for me. Randall and Charisse met up for like the first time in probably a while. Not met up. We went to Marcus's shop. We ran into her talking to Marcus. They fought a little bit. I said, like, can't we reach a compromise? They said they tried, but both of our houses just don't. They want to be the winners. They want one side to lose and one side to win. There are no compromises. They can't compromise for shit. Before we went to where we are now, we went to the arcade, won some stuffed animals for Randall, and he seems like a little sad, a lot of sad, like very in his mind right now, like something's on his mind. It's bothering him. I'm not sure if it's dealing with us and how we're reacting to things, but we'll see how it goes. I'm really nervous about how things are going to end. Rain pattered gently against my window. I gazed down at the distant city streets where the wet pavement glistened with the reflection of endless lights. A little while ago, I'd wakened to the soft sound of a storm. Somehow it made the world seem so peaceful. Calm and drowsy, entirely different from the bristling tension that filled the past few days. Listening to the rain almost made my tired body want to drift back to sleep. Another phone call? Ring ring. The phone interrupted my thoughts, snapping me back to the moment. I reached over to pick it up, but as soon as I held the receiver to my ear... Antonio. Teresa's voice hissed out at me. Cool. I am coming up to your room now. Cool. I hope not in trouble. Alright. Or, wait, what do you... Or... alright. The line abruptly went dead. Cool. She sounded much angrier than I'd ever heard her before. Apparently my peaceful night wasn't destined to last very long. Oh no, I'm gonna die. A few minutes later, my door rattled with three women? Vehement? Voiceover man, help me.
A few minutes later, my door rattled with 3 vehement knocks.
Hey, Charisse. The second I opened it, Charisse strode past me, silently storming her way inside my room. Hello. She radiated fury, even though her expression looked dangerously calm. Could I get you something to drink? What happened, Charisse? Or anger management therapy is down the hall. Either, like, try to, like, set a mood or go with the mood. She's angry. I'm not sure if she's angry at me or angry at something else. What happened, Charisse? Maybe it's me. Charisse gave me a silent, bitter look. I had a feeling that anger wasn't the only emotion swirling inside her right now. What's happening? Two of my agents were killed tonight. God, great. When she finally managed to speak, her voice trembled slightly. Not from spying, not from venturing into enemy territory. They were off duty. They hadn't even left Hollywood, but they were picked off, attacked in an alleyway as they left to see a movie together. I'm sorry, Cerise. Was it Lavar? The Golgotha? I'm not gonna point fingers, I'm gonna... Sorry, Charisse. Apologies won't bring them back from the dead. She scowled at me harshly, as if I were somehow responsible for what happened. I'd be surprised if somehow it was. These little ambushes, these pathetic attempts at power plays. They're nothing more than a show. A pitiful show of strength they didn't even have. One of her hands clenched into a tight fist, knuckles nearly bursting open her gloves. Neither the Mavar nor the Golgotha are bold enough to make a genuine first move. They're too afraid of a real conflict. That is why I will make the first move, and an opportunity just has risen for it. Or go on, I'm listening. Silence. Therese took a long, deep breath, lifting a hand to adjust her glasses. When her steely gaze refocused on me, it seemed like she calmed down a little. I'm currently working with the new Iskari manager at the abattoir to plan a party on Friday, a party exclusive to our coven. The club is considered the most important neutral territory because it's an extremely popular feeding ground. During the gathering, you're going to announce the club now belonging to the Iskari, as does the whole city. Girl! Anyone who remains an enemy to our faction will be treated accordingly. Wait, I'm going to announce it? That didn't register in my head. Wait. wait. Hold on a second. Why do you want me to announce it? Or it seems straightforward, consider it done. No! Hold on! Why do you want me to announce this? Your reputation has made you an important figure, an object of keen scrutiny by all of the city's vampires. You are, like it or not, being viewed by many as the political pulse of the city. You can't do it, Charisse! Many question your allegiances, and now is the time to show once and for all where your loyalties lie. She gave me a long look, determined, but not without a faint hint of mistrust. Can't do it, Charisse. Kill me now! I'll send along my agents who will provide support both inside and out of the club. They may not be in the initial fighting, but we should be prepared. Then after that night, you'll forcefully drive them out? Or what about the human police? They're not. What? No. Then after that night, you'll forcibly drive them out? Yes, anyone who continues to undermine the city's laws, which work excellently until the senseless rebellion, will be told to leave Los Angeles. I want to minimize bloodshed, but some of them will inevitably attack us in retaliation. What about the human police? Alright, I'll take care of it. It's time we bring an end to this war. I'm sorry, Charisse, but I can't take part in this! What about the human police? They've been sufficiently informed and compensated. Great. Any casualties will be reported as mere gang violence. God, I'm a wreck. I'm actually shaking. Any casualties were reported as mere gang violence. I'm sorry, Charisse, but I can't take part in this. I'm sure you're quite sorry, almost as sorry as I am to force you into doing it. My heart is pounding. In case I have to spell it out further, you don't have a choice in the matter, Antonio. She looks so sad. She's bitter. I don't know what's happening. She doesn't look happy about anything. Muttering these words bitterly, Charisse shook her head. She still seemed different from her normal self. Aggressive but uncertain, almost like a wounded animal ready to attack. Then pushing past me, she swiftly made her way to the door. Oh, and just so you're aware, for your own safety, I can't allow you to leave the hotel without my permission. Well, let me leave now. Right now, I'm going. You give me permission? Cool. I do hope you understand. She cares about me, or she cares about the role that I play in all this now? I don't know with her. She closed the door without letting me reply, although her words didn't leave much room for argument. And with that, I was imprisoned in the hotel. Charisse said the party would happen Friday. But today was only Wednesday. I'd have to deal with being leashed here until then, kept inside my luxury prison. I glanced inside my window, where the moon and dark clouds seemed closer than the distant streets below. For once, I didn't feel hungry at all, only isolated. I probably wouldn't be able to call Randall, since this car were no doubt monitoring me closely, just in case. There was someone else I could talk to, though. Call in David or sing it to my phone, you know? In David. Just for company. Not like other type of company. Let's just talk to him. Precious Bab. He needs to leave before anything else gets weird. Weird. Wrong. Oh god. After I gave a brief knock on David's door, he quickly shuffled over to answer it. Hi, Antonio. There must be something going on, huh? I heard a lot of people talking moving around tonight. There's going to be a lot of fighting tomorrow. Or, yeah, I'm not even supposed to leave the hotel, or don't worry about it, David, it's nothing important. There might be a lot of fighting tomorrow. We're straight up fighting? I guess vampires probably do that a lot, huh? He scratches his cheek, looking somewhere between scared and intrigued. Did you want to talk about something then? How are things going for you now, David? Or what do you think about when you're alone here? Or would you ever want me to turn you? Or David, I think you need to leave. How are things going for you now, David? Bad. Instead of immediately answering, David just gazed at me rapturously for several moments, his eyes full of adoration. You're my everything, Antonio. Stop. You make life worth living. Now, what do you think about when you're here? Well, when you're alone here. When you're alone here. Me? Please don't tell me. I need you to leave. David scratched the back of his neck, holding silent for a moment. Think about you a lot if you're gonna call me in to drink from again. Yeah, mostly that. I guess I think about my brother sometimes, but I don't really miss him as much as I thought I would. He always thinks to know what I want, or what's inside my head, but he doesn't. He's just totally wrapped up in himself. Don't you think he just cares about you a lot? Or I can't stand people like that? Or what's your brother's name? Oh! Oh my god, it's Luca! I don't really like talking about him though. Sorry. Would you ever want me to turn you? Let's just ask questions to turn me. I don't think so. Not if it couldn't be fed on anymore. I probably wouldn't be a good vampire either. Sort of feels like I could barely talk to people sometimes, so feeding on them just seems, wow, impossible, I guess. He chuckled, shaking his head as if he couldn't even fathom the idea. Thanks for asking, Antonio. David, I think you need to leave. What? It won't be safe for you to stay at the hotel, but I'll find you again in a few days. Just kidding, actually. I'm serious, being a blood pet isn't good for you. He doesn't have anywhere to go. I'm tempted to say the first one just because I don't want to, like, let him go and he doesn't really have anywhere else to go right now. But if I do that and then I die, he's just gonna be wandering around. Fuck! I'm serious, being a blood pet isn't good for you. For a moment I thought David was going to burst into tears. But by surprise, rather than arguing, he simply nodded. God. Well, if you really don't want me here then, it's not that I don't want you here. I just want you to be safe. I'll just go somewhere else. After giving me a long, somewhat bitter look, David turned to slink back into his room, locking the door after him with a soft click. I sank down onto my bed, staring at the wall with a strangely numb sensation. For a moment, I felt the same way I did my first night, all alone in this empty room. It didn't matter that I'd already seen unimaginable things, or survived some of the darkest parts of Hollywood. The coming day still felt like the most uncertain I'd ever see ahead of me. An arid Thursday night stretched out before my eyes. I sat in the ledge of my open window, gazing at the moon over the Hollywood Hills. In less than 24 hours, I'd be walking into the abattoir, getting ready to give an announcement that would change the life of every vampire in LA. Until then, Charisse wanted me to stay here, locked up with my thoughts. I could call someone, but I had a feeling that the Ascari were monitoring my phone. Hold on, guys, I gotta go cook some chicken. I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. It's been a few hours later. Here I am. The only other source of entertainment were the TV and the sparkling city outside my window. Oh, I stopped at a perfect time. As I sat there alone for the first night in a long time, my mind wandered back to my life before all of this ever happened. My life as a human. Back then, I was... happy and hopeful, always looking forward to the next day, or usually content but still restless, always wanted something more, or depressed on most days, struggling to find meaningful things in my life. How do we want to do this? Usually content but still restless. Always wanted something more. Let's go with this. It feels like something Antonio, his own kind of person, would do. I had my ups and downs, coasting through life without ever finding what really completed me. My hopes and fantasies helped me hang on, a rope that I clung onto whenever I felt myself slipping. I knew there was something out there, something that would give me a sense of real fulfillment. But I had to wonder if I'd ever truly grasp it. My eyes flicked up to meet the reflection in the window pane. I hadn't really thought about those days in a long time, the old human me. Now I found myself missing my old life. It seemed so peaceful looking back. Nostalgic and wistful, but still determined to put the past behind me, or happy with the new life I'd been given without any longing for my human days. I like the middle one! Let's go with the middle one. Nostalgic and wistful. When I gazed down at the tiny cars and people wandering on the streets, I could almost see myself as one of them, blissfully ignorant of the dark world that surrounded me now. Even if I knew I was reminiscing through rose-colored glasses, I felt a bittersweet longing for those brighter, calmer, more predictable times. But there was no going back. No matter how much the past continued to weigh heavily on my shoulders, one day I knew I'd find a way to leave it all behind forever. As I sank back onto the bed, finally drifting out of my thoughts, Randall's face surfaced in my mind. There was no way Charisse would willingly let me visit him at this point, not if tomorrow was D-Day. I couldn't just lie about where I was going either. She'd definitely have me followed. If I wanted to talk to Randall safely, I'd have to slip away for a few hours. Was it worth the risk? Shit. Putting the hard choices in front of me here. It's worth the risk, isn't it? Just to tell him that this is gonna go down. I'm on his side. I'm gonna die. Let's go. Try to sneak out. I had to visit him, even if it meant risking getting caught. But with Charisse's agents everywhere in the hotel, it wasn't going to be easy. Escape from the window? Should we Randall style this? Persuade the agents to let me leave. Escape the window. Oh, so I gasped because I was like, is it going to give us an option to go up or down? Because if we escape the window and it's like, which direction should I go? Remembering from what Randall did, we should go up. But now I'm getting ahead of myself. Fuck, I'm gonna die. I'm just like, let's just baseline. I'm going to die. That's where I am. Just like, I'm gonna die doing anything in my power to like try to warn Randall or something. If I could slip outside unnoticed, then I wouldn't have to worry about being followed. My room was a little worryingly high up, but... oh shit. We're doing it! I opened the window and stepped out onto the ledge. Far below me, people and cars were distant dots moving across miniature roads like ants. The nearest ledge was a far leap, and I saw almost nothing to hang on to. If I didn't make it, then... Just then, a powerful gust of wind almost knocked me off my feet. I barely managed to grab the wall in time. If I had jumped a moment ago, I would have been splattered on the ground by now. Taking my chances with the agents was starting to seem like a safer bet. Clambering back inside, I shut the window tightly. Randall might have been able to scale this building, but I couldn't do it. Maybe if I'm a Mavar, I could do it. That's interesting. I can't wait to play this route as a Mavar. Persuade the agents to let me leave or stay in. You know what? Just persuade the agents to let me leave. Let's see if we can do it. If I played my cards right, maybe I could persuade one of the agents to turn a blind eye. Of course, if I played my cards wrong, I might end up with a blind eye or two myself. Great. The lobby was bustling with activity, rifle with anticipation for tomorrow. But a suited agent stood guard near the door, observing everyone sharply. He'd probably been told not to let me go. I'm nervous. When I drew close to him, the agent put on a smooth, polite smile. May I help you with something, sir? If you know what's good for you, you'll let me out of here. Please, I need to leave just for a few minutes. Politeness! I'm afraid you're not allowed out of the hotel tonight, as per Miss Locke's instructions. It's one of my friends. After tonight, I may never see him again. Or, if you let me step outside for one moment, I'll be very grateful to you. Nah. Or Charisse asked me to run a last-minute errand for her. Should we be? This is like a little truthful. Did I? Truthful? My heart is beating so fast. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna get a bad ending. It's all gonna go downhill. I'm sorry if this is like annoying to people that have already played this round. They're like, just pick the fucking ass. Okay, here we go. It's one of my friends. After tonight, I may never see him again. It's crying. A look of guilt, or maybe sympathy, flickered over his face. He hesitated, scratching at the back of his head, and I watched as his eyes slid across from the other vampires around us. Get back before sunrise. Hey! Thanks. I'll take care of the cameras, but if you're caught, all the blame is on your shoulders. Cool. I accept this. Go. Oh my god! He mumbled under his breath, motioning to the door. Run, bitch! Oh my god! It's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I hurried away from the hotel, taking the first taxi I saw to the beach. But as the streets of Santa Monica gradually grew closer, I felt a strange, bittersweet tug in my chest. Tomorrow I'd be stepping into a new chapter of my life. And at the club, anything could happen. Maybe this would be my last trip to the beach, or my last chance to see Randall before all the chaos blew over. Even though it felt like my first visit was only yesterday. I'm having feelings. The shoreline seemed quieter than usual. In fact, the only figures I spotted were a large group by Randall's house. The Mavar seemed to be swarming around it. But when I got closer, I realized they weren't just partying again. A number of them held guns, while others practiced in hand-to-hand brawls, slashing out with their claws like nails. All like nails. Wow. Go me. I know how to read. They must have been preparing for the oncoming fight. And judging from their shouting and laughter, they were looking forward to it. It's Antonio. When someone noticed me, flatly calling out my name, the loud chatter suddenly dampened. Hostile gazes bore into me from every direction. If they didn't know Randall and I were close, I had a feeling they wouldn't have hesitated to blow my head off right there. Hey, Antonio. Someone lightly tapped on my shoulder. Jack. It was Jack, wearing a faintly apologetic grimace. If you wanted to see Randall, he's inside. Thanks, boy. Love you. You should probably hurry up. You're right. Thanks, Jack. Stay safe. Or, right, I'll do that. Thanks, Jack. Stay safe. He nodded, rubbing the back of his neck with an embarrassed cough. You too, Antonio. I love him. I'm having feelings. With those suspicious gazes still following me, I climbed the porch stairs and stepped inside the beach house. The door swung shut behind me, its rattle echoing through the empty living room. Antonio? Antonio! Or maybe not entirely empty. Oh wow. Randall had been sitting in a chair with his back to the door, but he jumped to his feet when he noticed me. Man, if I knew you were coming back, I would have cleaned up nicer. Something didn't happen, did it? As if he could somehow sense a different atmosphere, Randall studied my face closely, his brow creasing a little. Charisse, she's planning to attack the club tomorrow, and she's sending me to start it. Or, no, I just missed you. Or, no, I was just getting bored stuck in the hotel. We're the inside man, let's do this. Charisse, she's planning to attack the club tomorrow, and she's sending me to start it. An attack at the abattoir, huh? Shit. His expression quickly darkened, fangs glinting as he inhaled and released a slow breath through his teeth. Well, good thing I've been stationing more guys around there recently. I was gonna show up myself tomorrow since the big party sounded fishy as hell. I always had a feeling she'd target the club. That's the only big place you can still find all the houses together. More than Saturnalia. I want to avoid bloodshed as much as we can, or... What do you think we should do? This is so me, because it's just like, I don't want anyone to die. My bloody human heart. fucking... This is so hard. Because, like, I want to avoid bloodshed as much as we can. This is something I want to say, but at the same time, it's like, we're in it. It's gonna happen no matter what. I'm gonna have to think about this. Hold on. You know what? Like... I don't know. You know what? No. Yeah, I don't know what. You're not gonna know what. What do you think we should do? I'll make sure my group's ready to defend themselves. We can't back out now, or else she'll know something's up. But I gotta keep you safe, Antonio. If she's putting you in the middle of that, then I'll find a way to get you out. He frowned at me intently, one of his hands drifting through my hair. Listen, don't worry about it. Just play it safe tomorrow until the fighting starts, and you can ditch those Iskari Farquhars inside the club. Well, I'll protect you. Cross my heart and hope to die. Again. But his low chuckle soon faded away, leaving behind only a small, weak smile. Through the covered windows, the sound of distant laughter and shouting filtered into our silence. I'm glad you came by, Antonio. I'm gonna cry. Shut up. Randall murmured with another small laugh, though there wasn't any humor behind it. God, I have tears in my eyes. I always try not to wear my heart on my sleeve, but... It scares me to think about what would happen if I lost you. And all the hope and happiness I get just by... Shut up! And all the hope and happiness I just get from seeing your face. I don't know what I'd do without you sometimes. You've been the support I never knew I needed. Now that I've got it, I just can't imagine being alone again. But you have your clan. You're not alone with them around, are you? Or, I can't imagine being without you either, Randall. Or, I might not always be here. Something could happen. We're gonna go sappy. I can't imagine being without you either, Randall. Randall's large bandaged palm lifted to cut my face, gently bringing us closer together. He placed a soft kiss on my forehead, then on each of my cheeks, and finally, on my lips. The last kiss lasted longer and felt needier, deeper, more insistent. When he finally pulled away, he gazed at me with a sudden worry in his eyes, sticking his fangs against his bottom lip. You know... Hold on. I'm such a sucker! You know, this probably sounds dumb as hell, but... Every night, I keep getting this funny feeling. Like we're standing on the edge of some giant abyss, staring down into the darkness. And when the war breaks out for real, we're all gonna fall in together. Won't really matter who wins and who loses, because we're already at the bottom. It'll all work out in the end. You'll see. Or, I know how you feel, but I don't know how we can escape from it. Optimism! I gotta be optimistic here! It'll work out in the end. You'll see. Yeah. Yeah, it will. You're right, Antonio. Well, he offered me an uncertain smile, then let out a little laugh. Not one of his deep, chest rumbly ones. But more hoarse. Shut up. I'm not crying. Ah, Christ. He came all the way out here, and I'm wasting time sounding like a fucking doomsayer or some shit. His brow hissed teeth with a huge sigh, and he shook his head in frustration. Let's just chill and enjoy ourselves like old times, okay? Robert... God, there was a sob! That was a sob that was like suppressing for a while, and I was just like, no! We'll pretend you're still just a starry-eyed newbie, and I'm your handsome mentor. And all the rest of the world can go to hell. He traced a thumb lightly along my lower lip, gazing into my eyes. Randall, I want something more tonight. Or reach up and kiss him. Or like old times. That sounds just fine to me. Or it's hard to forget when it's always there. But I'll try. I'm gonna reach up and kiss him. I stood up on my toes to close the distance between us, pulling Randall into a kiss. He seemed surprised at first, but soon he pressed back against me with a sudden intensity. Our lips parted, fangs clicking together as his tongue swept forward towards mine. It was impossible to ignore our size difference. Locked in an embrace like this, it felt like he could snap me in half if he'd wanted to. But right now, his only desire seemed to be for me. He ravenously covered my mouth, jaw, and neck with his lips, fangs scraping everywhere they could. I felt his rough hand slipped under my shirt, beginning to roam across my bare waist and hips. I didn't think this was gonna go this way, but I should have known. The coarse sensation of his bandaged palms against my skin felt odd, but not unpleasant. I was much less sensitive now. Wait, whoa, wait. wait. Over here. He pulled me towards the couch, gripping my hips hard, his nails digging into my flesh. And just as Randall was about to push me down onto the cushions, he suddenly stopped. Yep. I'm like, ugh. Eyes heavily lidded, he gazed at me with an almost unnerving intensity, like he wanted to swallow me whole. I think you're too pure for me, Antonio. Boy, whew. Do you really want me to dirty you like this? Oh god. Wait, this is like a way I thought it was just gonna be a kiss. I didn't know we were gonna go full on. He breathed those words against my cheek, his lips slightly brushing my skin with each movement. Yes, I do. Or not pure, Randall, or... No, you're right, we shouldn't. Oh god, I wasn't expecting this. Hold on. Frickin' yes I do. And I want to. I want to more than anything. I just don't know what will happen after, if I can see you like that. Oh. His eyes roamed over my face and body, full of longing and reluctance. Never seen him look so conflicted before. Are you really sure you want this? Maybe not, maybe you're right. Fuck. What? It's like, hey, you sure you want to do this? I don't know, you're making me second guess myself. I hate when this happens. Wait, hold on, I need to rethink this. Maybe not. Maybe you're right. He looked almost relieved, even if disappointment was mixed in. I can't tell you how much you mean to me, Antonio, but the things I've done, the people I've been with, I'm dirty, inside and out. It's something I have to get over, and I will eventually, but right now, the thought of touching you, it just feels like I'd be corrupting something. Okay, I'm glad I sort of backed out of that, because I was like a little confused. I'm like, you're really reluctant about this, and I'm not going to push you if you're like not feeling it. So Randall rubbed at his eyes with one hand, letting out an extended heavy sigh. I know it sounds stupid, but that's just how I feel. Hey, it's okay. I still love you. Also, I think I just dodged a bullet with like having to skip anything. For a little while, the atmosphere between us felt awkward, like I'd seen some part of Randall that I wasn't supposed to see. Despite my curiosity, though, it was pretty clear that he didn't want to discuss it any further. I could only wonder why he thought he'd be corrupting me. I had a feeling he wasn't talking about the dirtiness of sex. Maybe he'd divulge it later, on his own time. If there is a later. We settled down together on the worn-out sofa, relaxing like we did on the night Randall gave his speech. It felt almost eerily quiet inside the house, although the distant hollering of the Mavar outside reminded me how close they still were. Randall set up a movie to play in the background, Hellraiser, which he told me was one of his favorites, but he didn't pay much attention to it, and his distracted gaze kept flickering around the house. His arm curled around me protectively as we sat on the couch, and Randall seemed to be more interested in clinging to me than anything else. As if you're afraid I might slip away from him. Every few minutes someone would knock on the door to pass through or ask Randall a question, always needing his attention. It was a near constant stream of interruptions, but Randall only reacted numbly to them, unlike the bitter response he'd given Nick before. Somehow, he was almost too calm. Yeah. My heart hurts. Everything hurts. Eventually, as the clock's semi-broken hand crept closer to dawn, I knew I needed to head back. Randall walked with me all the way to the beach's edge, where he gave me one last long embrace before letting me go. Either Sharice's earlier words about keeping me locked up were an empty threat, or else the Ascari were so busy preparing for tomorrow that my disappearance went unnoticed. But I managed to slip back inside without getting stopped. The guard must have kept his word. At last, just as the sun was about to rise, I slipped inside the darkness of my bed. But even as my calm, blurry dream settled in to block out the coming day, the strangely haunted look in Randall's eyes cast a shadow over all of them. The next night, I woke up with a knot in my stomach. It was a sharp, gnawing feeling that wouldn't go away, not even as I climbed out of bed to get dressed. The feeling was fear, worry, excitement. I wasn't sure. I like that I wasn't sure. Probably worry, because, like, there's gonna be so many deaths when this goes down. If this determines what the heck is happening. Worry. You know what? Worry. Something bad would inevitably happen tonight. I couldn't help from worrying about my faith, the fate of everyone I cared about. Everything was up in the air. Yep, okay, yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling. When I finally prepared myself physically and mentally, I decided it was time to go. I made my way to the door, stepped outside, and left without looking back, gave my room a final long look. No. Left without looking back. No looking back now. We're going forward with this. Wait, what if something was there? What if something was there, though? I didn't bother glancing over my shoulder. I was done with that room. It had served its purpose, and now I was ready to move on. Downstairs in the lobby, Sharice's agents were waiting for me. From their tight-lipped and tense stares, they seemed to feel more anxious than I was. We took several cars to the abattoir, leaving at slightly different intervals in case we were being watched. Nobody spoke up. The few agents sharing my car only whispered a few words to each other. I had my weapons from before still tucked in my jacket, since I was told we'd be able to smuggle in anything we wanted. From the firepower that the agents were packing, it seemed like they were expecting to use it. We pulled up a block away from the abattoir, and followed the agents towards the front entrance. I noticed a few humans trying to get inside the club, only to get swiftly rejected by the bouncers. But as soon as we approached, they let us inside, swinging open the door with a foreboding creak. The moment I entered the club, a different atmosphere swirled around me. Instead of a crowd of mortals, everywhere I looked, there was only vampires. Tension weighed thickly in the air, as clawing and heavy as the pounding music, but it seemed like Sharice's bait had worked. I saw vampires from all three houses crowding the floor, watching each other uneasily, even as they drank and danced the night away. Did they have any idea what's going to happen? No one stopped me as I climbed up into the empty stage, walking over to the microphone. As soon as I approached it, though, I felt more and more eyes flicking onto me. Sharice's agents were watching me closest of all, probably ready to pounce if I chickened out. Suddenly the music switched off. Oh god. How many people are just gonna get caught in the crossfire here? It's fine. It's fine, it's fine. Got this. Don't cry now, girl! Everyone started to murmur in confusion, glancing around to see what was happening. Now seemed like a good time to start. Hey, I have something important to say, or can I have everyone's attention? My voice boomed back to me over the loudspeakers. All the vampires who weren't looking at me before now stared at me, wide-eyed. Everyone stayed silent, waiting for my next words. Should I just outright say it? All of you know the avatars is neutral ground. Silence. Unfortunately, it seems like that's about to change. Or after night, it belongs to our faction, just like the rest of LA. Unfortunately, it seems like that's about to change. I could sense countless eyes piercing into me. Right now, it felt like they were all waiting for me to mess up. Starting tonight, this club and the whole city belong to, or because the winning side of this war will be, starting tonight, this club and the whole city belong to Charisse, Andre, the Rebellion. It's like me just like being like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. I want to just do it. Just if I mess it up, fucking guys. Deafening silence. Charisse, Andre, the Rebellion. Fuck, I don't know. Am I choosing a side this way or am I playing the part? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna use this save to like go back. I just want you guys to know because I actually don't know what this means. Like, am I choosing a side or am I just playing the part? So I'm gonna play the part, and if it ends up not being like actually playing the part, y'all's know I'm gonna go back. Okay? Cool. The next few seconds felt frozen in time. Nobody moved. As if they were waiting for somebody else to move first. Just as I started to wonder if my microphone had turned off, all hell broke loose. Some of the vampires charged towards me. Nope, no! I'm leaving! But another group leaped onto them, shooting and clawing at them. Well, the Skari weren't the only ones who smuggled in weapons. Another throng of people raced for the exit, shoving each other to escape. Ah, God. Oh, this feels good. Helter Skelter, baby, look out. Bodies were already falling to the floor. Both dead and alive. As alive you can get as a vampire. Not wanting to be next, I jumped off the stage towards safety. Wait, I see him! He's over there! Get him! Fuck! Instantly, a pair of furious cries rang out nearby. I could guess who they were talking about. Darting towards the club's emergency exit, I ducked outside. I still play the part? I don't know. I'm not sure how this got me. Hold on. Fuck, that got me to Skari. I don't know what to do! Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Keep going, Raze. Keep going. Gunfire, shouting, and footsteps raced after me. Bullets whizzed over my head, drilling into the wall. Down the street, an alley, another alley, back into the street. No matter how fast I ran, they were right behind me. I felt like an animal fleeing for its life, driven by the pure instincts to survive. But I knew from their voices that I was outnumbered. If only I... Quickly, protect him! Who's going on? At that moment, an urgent cry rang out. A group of Iskari agents suddenly raced from a side alley, aiming their guns behind me. More bullets raced past my head, this time in the opposite direction. I turned to see my attacker scattering, chased off by a few Iskari. Looked like they might have been Mavar. Were they Randall's? I apologize, Antonio. An agent walking up beside me offered a grimace, shaking his head. We secured the club just as he left, but not before the enemy escaped. Don't worry about me, you saved me. I didn't even read the other one, whoops! Of course, but the operation could have been handled more smoothly. Clearing his throat, he mentioned towards the main road. The cars are waiting for us nearby. Let's not waste time here. Despite our agreement with the police, we don't want to involve any other mortals in this. And knowing the Mavar, more of them are probably pursuing us. Duh, did I choose... I want to go back. Because that was like choosing a side, I guess. I'm gonna go back. Fuck you guys. Fuck it. We're choosing sides. We're choosing sides, I guess. This is what the question is. Okay. Now that I understand what the heck was going on, I was like, we're choosing sides. Okay, thank you. The rebellion. But I knew from the voices that I was outnumbered. If only I... There they are, now. Don't let them get Antonio. The next moment, a group of Mavar leaped down from the rooftops. Oh. Randall stood with them, his lips curled in a snarl. You bastards made a real big mistake trying to fuck with my Antonio. You better run for your fucking lives. As if on cue, all the Mavar shoot past me, rushing for my attackers. It was more than enough to make the other vampires turn and flee, running from the howling Mavar. Before long, they chased the others completely out of sight. Okay, now I understand what that question was. It was like, which side will you put your token into? Okay. Because sometimes, like, with a lot of these visual novels, I never know, it's like if I'm playing the part, or if I'm actually choosing a thing that I actually think. That's my problem. This is what I wanted to do. Hey, Randall. Thank you. Randall slowly turned towards me, his deep scowl lingering for a few seconds longer. Antonio? Randall? Well, he suddenly grabbed my shoulders, pulling me against his chest. But right as Randall was about to kiss me, he hesitated, leaving less than an inch between our faces. Kiss him, squirm in his arms, or hug him. Kiss him? I mean, he wants a kiss, so, like, we're going for it. I stood on my toes to kiss Randall, planting my lips on his. Soon I could feel his hand firmly against the back of my head, keeping me in the embrace, while his free arm squeezed my waist tightly. But the cool touch of his lips didn't last long, and before I knew it, he was already pulling back, wearing a worried frown. Christ, sorry we were so late. He heaved a sigh, running a hand through his hair. We tried to follow you from the club, but we got held up by some of those Iskari fuckers. I was sure we outnumbered them. You're okay, aren't you? They didn't hit you or anything. I mean, I don't think so. Apparently they're very bad at aiming. His eyes darted over me worriedly. If they did, would you kiss it better, or I'm alright, just a little dazed, or no, but I really thought that was the end. I'm alright, just a little dazed. Yeah, no wonder. I knew shit was gonna go down, just not like that. Come on, let's get out of here before those Iskari the Ghouls pay us a visit. I got a safe ride that'll take us back. God damn, this shit gonna give me gray hairs. With Randall sticking close to my side, he hurried to the street, where a beat-up car was waiting for us. It was filled with a small group of Mavar, who eagerly peppered me with thanks and congratulations as we rode back. I don't remember the last time I'd had such a warm reception. I'd probably gotten used to the Iskari crowd's chilliness. But instead of riding to Santa Monica, we started driving towards the old parking garage, where Randall told me a huge group had gathered. He explained that his beach wasn't big enough to fit so many vampires, and it wouldn't be safe to send people back into the streets. He already set up guards around the block, and it seemed like we'd be in a defensible position for the night, but nobody knew what could happen. As soon as Randall and I stepped out of the car, a chorus of cheers rang through the garage. He hadn't been lying. It seemed like most of the city's Mavar had turned up, with plenty of new and old faces greeting me everywhere I looked. Most of them seemed as excited as they were nervous, but in some faces I still caught a glimpse of dread. We should have a talk, Antonio, to get your thoughts on... Antonio, Randall! What is it, Jack? Jack! Running up to us in top speed, Jack skidded to a halt, his fangs bared in a grimace. I just finished talking to some of our our spies. And well, the Iskari and the Ghouls. They're gonna jump our base in Hollywood tomorrow night. Sounds like Queen Bitch is really pissed. They got a kill on sight order for all of us, even Antonio. Randall curled one hand into a fist, sinking his nails against his bandaged palm. She should have seen this coming or kill on sight. I didn't think she'd... Or... Was she planning this from the start? Kill on sight. I didn't think she'd... I didn't either. But I guess we were both pretty wrong, huh? As more and more of the crowd started listening to our conversation, the chatter slowly faded into soft, worried mutters and whispers. People started moving closer to Randall and me, as if they were expecting some kind of important announcement. It sounds like tomorrow's gonna be our big last stand. A grim expression clouded Grendel's features where I couldn't see any trace of enthusiasm. We gotta make it count. Because if we fuck this up, I don't think we'll be getting another chance. And the Iskarian goals won't wait for us to get even stronger. When we head to the base, we should try and talk first, or just charge as soon as we see them, and things as soon as we can. But as much as I'd like to reach some kind of last-minute treaty before shit kicks off, I got my doubts they'll feel much like talking. We should try and talk with them as long as there's a chance, or there won't be a compromise. We have to fight, or I'm not sure. I'll leave the decision up to you. You know what? I'm gonna stop here. We'll continue in the next part. See you then. Bye.